just general like discipline in the college realm? Like what prompted that question, just out of curiosity?
Um, I'm really bad with discipline, and that's something I'm trying to work on.
Yeah.
Um, that, and I'm just trying to get ready for Sheridan, because
Yeah.
I'd love to go to Casey, but in all honesty, I don't think they offer the same thing that I want
Okay.
here at
So
Sheridan.
Sheridan is it? Oh, cool! Wow. Well, shoot. If you're here, I'm definitely gonna visit you at some point because I'm only like an hour away. So
I'm sure I'll drop by and be like, hi.
yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, it is pretty intense. Like, I mean, you probably heard some of the stories about what it's like to be in the program, and it is very like the hours that you put in a week are borderline inhumane, but not really. Like you can do it. I did do it, but I mean, there's always crunch times, and there's always times where like the courses don't really line up really well. So there's like 3 things due on one Friday, and you're like, teachers, like you all know each other. Why do you do this? So there's always those kind of things. But oh geez, like there's so much you can do. Like for example, right now, you're still in your classes, right?
No, I start classes February 1st.
Oh, wow. Okay, I see. So, what does your week look like then? Like, what kind of things like do you do in your week that not that is taking away from your art, but just like what occupies your week as well as doing some art stuff?
The only thing that occupies my week is probably going to doctor's appointments, walking the dogs. Like, I have it very relaxed here.
That's great.
There's no real setup. Like,
Mhm.
they let me do whatever. I work, or I paint, or I draw, or I go. It's like break right now, and
Yeah.
I don't have a job because they're taking care of it. They're like, we want you to go to, school.
Oh wow, this is a perfect. I mean, you know this, but like this is an amazing chance. Like the last time that I could just have like some time and space in my life to like work on one devoted thing, holy would I use that well now, having been through like all the stuff that I have. Like if you have and you have about I guess a month. It's weird that Sheridan's really slow to send you that stuff. I really hope they get that to you soon, but have you booked an exact portfolio application date?
Not for Sheridan, but for KCAI,
It's
so
sorry.
it's February 1st.
Oh
Casey.
wow. Oh,
Yeah.
that is very soon. Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you really well. Can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. That's quite soon. Wow, you have about it's funny. I have a deadline on February 1st too, so I hear you. Let's see. So you have about about 2 weeks. Wow. Okay. So how are you feeling about that one?
Knowing me, I tend to put it off, and I don't think about it. So that's a bad habit of mine.
Okay.
So that's something I want to change, definitely.
Yeah. How much do you need to do for KC again?
15 drawings, personal work. They just want to see your work.
Oh.
They don't really have like, oh, we want this, this, and this. They're just like, express to us how you are an artist and what can you show us with your artistic abilities.
Oh wow. See, just from those requirements, I think you'd be better off with Sheridan, just because of like how specific it is, and it's just when a university knows what they want to see, then they'll ask you for it, and it's more, and you'll get more of a specific result in turn from them, from what the faculty will teach you. So yeah. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the sort of vague sounding ones, because often what you end up with is a bunch of like sort of vague learnings from the college. So, well, I don't know, but I could be wrong. And I don't know about KC. So maybe they just like want a lot of different variety of people coming in. Is it specifically animation, or what is that course again?
It is animation.
Okay.
They have like a whole bunch of them, like photography, graphic design, painting, like you name it, they have it pretty much. Like Walt Disney went there, Mark Davis.
Oh,
so
wow.
like a lot of people went there, but it's more like whatever you want to learn, you can learn. It's like what you put into it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it probably is still pretty good then. Jeez, with a name like Walt Disney, I would think that it must be pretty good.
Yeah.
Unless, but like, there's always, see, there's all kinds of like little political things that can happen over the years, but sometimes colleges that used to be really good can become not so good because like a new person gets in charge of administration and then they change the whole program. And so there's always things like that that can happen. That's why it's good to research like the people that are coming out of it.
Oh yeah.
Just see like what they're saying about it. And if they're still saying good things, then I think that's great. I know that Sheridan seems to be be getting better. I'm kind of jealous. I wish I was going now because I heard some stuff recently about how the equipment, for example, that they have there, they have just tons and tons of tablets. Like every single student has access to a tablet. When I was there, you'd have to sort of fight over them. And there just wasn't enough. There was like 100 students or so in the fourth year lab, and there
Wow.
was like 20 tablets. But now there's like a tablet per person pretty much. And I was like, holy, that is crazy. Those are like 2,500 each.
Seriously.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I went to CTN Expo. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I went last year.
You did?
Yeah.
Wait, last year, like November?
Oh no,
15?
the last one from the previous year. Shoot, I can't believe you
14?
went. Yeah, I might go next year.
Okay. I was there on last year on 2015.
Oh wow, how was it?
It was great. Like I asked, like you're saying, I asked a lot of people, like, how do you think of these schools? What do you think? Blah blah blah. So it was actually really
Fantastic.
informational. Yeah.
That's great. You know what's a great strategy for those things is if you you have like, well, all the booths of the people at the tables, they have to stay there obviously. So like, whereas other people can just be like, oh no, I got to go do this, but
Are you
like
there?
just hound them with questions. Sorry?
You're breaking in and out.
Oh no.
Yeah.
My internet seems to be okay. Is it better now or?
You're still kind of like glitching. All right, there you go. Now you're moving.
Okay, so you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. That's weird because the internet here is way better than it is at my house. But we'll see. Just let me know if anything changes. But yeah, that's great that you went. I find those things actually really help to be inspired to like create work. Like after I left last year, I was like, wow, I just want to like get right back to work and like I want to have a table there one day. That'd be so amazing. So I find that really that's a great idea to like re-inspire yourself every now and then. I'm going to be going to a bunch of conventions this year in various art-related fields, not just animation.
Nice.
There's one in Philadelphia called IlluxCon, which I'm really looking forward towards. It's really high talent, apparently. But yeah, so in terms of like just getting yourself, you kind of have to treat it like work, almost as if like you're being paid to do this. Like if you're being paid to do your portfolio and they asked for various things on various days, you'd get it done. Like when there's money involved for some reason, I don't know what it is about our psychology of this, but if we're being paid to do something, like people work miracles to make it happen. Whereas like if it's of our own will, it's really difficult. So what you could maybe do, I don't know if this is too extreme, but just like tell your mom that if you don't like give her your schedule for when you want to get your portfolio pieces done, and then you could even try something like telling her that you'd pay her X amount if you don't get it done by that date. So you're these you need some kind of accountability that's going to keep you to do that, or just chores. Just chores. Like just say that, okay, if I don't have it done by this date, I'll make dinner for everybody, or I'll do the laundry for 2 weeks or something, and make them so annoying that like you will not let that happen.
Too late. I already do all of that.
Oh wow, crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well,
But
you
no,
could always
it's
try a barter with friends, like just message friends, and you need some kind of accountability. Otherwise, it's just always going to be like you could have just excellent willpower and discipline, but you could also just like hack the psychological system and just like offer to do way too much for other people if you don't do what you want to do,
Yeah.
and then it'll force you to do it. Like I was having this we had this entrepreneur group in Guelph a little while ago, and I was just starting my art business, and we would meet every 2 weeks, and every 2 weeks we would say, okay, like this is what I got done, and these are my goals for next week. We had to get those goals done in the 2 weeks, otherwise we had like penalties basically. So we'd set a penalty, and we'd have this written down in like a Word document that we would send to everybody, and it was things like volunteer for this political campaign that we really, really don't want to. Like we don't want to help. It's like the enemy in our opinion. We'd like volunteer 2 hours of our time to go and help them, like canvassing or something. So just like miserable things, or just like working for free for 2 hours, or volunteering somewhere that really sucks, like a corporation or something. Just things like that like we really, really didn't want to do. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe you could even get your friends involved.
I will. Oof. My friend.
Yeah, it's great. It totally works. Like I call it a sort of an accountability group, where you're all just, you keep tabs on each other, and you can even do like what we're gonna do this week coming up, which we can talk about at the end of this. Like have a midweek check-in and say like, all right, how far are you at your goals? And if you're not very far, then it's like, oh, watch out, like you might owe me a ton of milkshakes after this if you don't finish. So just make it fun. Like I think if it's more of like make it as much like a game as you can, like how video games work, where when you win, you get like a juicy little reward or an upgrade or money. I don't know, whatever. It's just like you always get rewards for doing things, and with this, there's nothing. So it's hard to. Yeah, I find it really difficult to motivate yourself. The other things that I did were more like lifestyle-based things, but I don't know like how much. It depends on your time, and like I don't know exactly where you're located and stuff, but I just like I made sure to eat decently well, and like keep my sleep and exercise schedules pretty even, which I know like it's way easier said than done, but like I just made sure to go on walks every now and then, and just like I went to the gym every now and then at Sheridan because it was free, and just like I just did things that were away from work. And those kind of things, it's interesting because they make you way more productive when you're actually doing your work. So when you're doing your work, 2 hours, like something that would normally take you 6 hours suddenly takes 2 hours because your mind is super focused, and you can just see how you should be drawing. So those are some of the best things. And it's like it's not like a magic trick. It's just treat your body well, and it'll sort of treat you well in terms of what your mind is able to come up with. So how is that so far? Like how is that? Is that doable?
Yeah, no, that is doable because I have all the time in the goddamn world.
Yeah. That's great that you're walking your dogs though. Like that's a great excuse to get away. And
you're sweet, but you don't know what dogs.
I see.
Yeah, I have a Rot and a pit bull, and the Rot is an old woman, and the pit bull is like a 5-year-old.
Okay.
So it's kind of like back and forth.
Yeah. Wow. So that's its own workout then.
It's mind games, really.
Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. Other things is just one big thing as well is when you have, especially when something's very large, like a big project, like, or even something like the storyboard where it's like it involves a lot of different steps. Break those bigger things down into as small little pieces as you can. Like just make it as small. So even if it's just like try practicing drawing the storyboard characters a few times, and then brainstorm stories, and then maybe decide on a story, and then decide on a setting, and then draw the background for that setting. So just like break it down into all the components that you actually have to put together that finished exercise, and then tackle those instead of tackling like the whole ambiguous thing as a whole, because it's always easy to demotivate yourself when you're like fighting a dragon. But if you're just fighting a bunch of like, little rats, then it's super easy. So I would just make it as easy for you as you can. That's like definitely one of the best ones. That always has worked with me, I find.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's like the normal thing. Like if you're gonna take a huge chunk, just take it in small pieces.
Yeah, definitely. So much easier, and it also like trains you, because when you start checking off all those little things, it feels good. Like you're like, okay, like I'm moving. Whereas like sometimes you'll be sketching the characters and you're like, oh, this is like a waste of time. This is what I always feel like whenever I'm sketching. I don't know what it is. It's funny because sketching is really the most important part, especially like sketching and thumbnailing. Oh my God, don't even get me started on thumbnailing. It's just incredibly important and no one does it enough. But whenever you're doing those things, it always feels like it's like, okay, I'm just like toiling away. I just need to like get to the real work. But if you can begin to let's sort of retrain yourself to think that that sketching is actually more important than the finished thing, like think of it like that, and it'll be much easier to toil away, as you may have previously thought, on just these sort of things that don't seem to be adding anything. They are. It's just like it's hard to see it. It's sort of intangible, but it is very, very helpful for sure.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
And that's like Garth's list of how I keep productive kind of focused.
for sure. Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things. I mean, it's all about like just keeping balanced and hacking your own crappy habits. That's the way that I like to see it, because
Okay.
we all have like these little habits that just are, they're with us for whatever reason. I don't even know why. It's just sometimes like, what do you feel when what are some of the thoughts that come to your mind when you begin to start wanting to like head away from your drawing table?
Usually I'm cold or I need more
Yeah.
coffee.
So maybe make sure that you have a constant supply of both of those things. So have like huge amounts of sweaters right beside your table and a whole like thing of coffee ready to go.
Yeah. Usually when I'm working, it sucks. My mom's like, hey, I need you to do this. And then like 5 hours later, I'm like, what was I doing again?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, I guess I just need to make the artist is in sign. Like, focus, leave alone.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And the funny thing is, like, the more that you do these exercises, the faster you're gonna get. It's like now a character rotation might take like, a week, but in first year even or second year, like you do it so much that you could do it in like a half an hour. Like maybe not make a new character. You could like take a character and be like, just look at it and be like, oh yeah, I know how that would be in 3D space. And you just draw it and you're like rotate it and it's done. It's like it becomes like an automatic process. Whereas right now it's like you have to think about every little line and you're like, oh my God, like is this working? I don't know. But eventually that just goes all into the subconscious and it's just so much easier to get through it.
Okay, perfect. Like,
Yeah.
I totally understand where you're coming from. Like, the more you paint, the faster you get, the better you see colors. So,
Yeah. Yeah, to the point where you don't even have to think about colors. You just
oh,
go. It's like when Mozart got so good at piano, like he didn't think about the keys. He just goes. That's it. He doesn't have to
yeah.
think. It's just completely automatic. That's like what you want to work towards, and you will just by having done it so much. Chuck Jones was a famous animator who did like Coyote and Bugs Bunny and stuff. Is
Yep.
amazing. Don't even get me started on Chuck Jones.
There's a
Um,
center over here for Chuck Jones, actually. So I know
Oh, awesome.
all about
Oh,
him.
I wonder if it's the same thing because I was just about to say the one of his favorite quotes is that you have 10,000 bad drawings in you and you just have to get them out as soon as possible.
Yep. That's
It's a
actually
great
on the
one.
side of the wall. Like, I kid you,
Awesome.
you walk up to it, it's like right there.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great.
If you're ever in Southern California, I mean, I can show you where it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe well next year probably at CTN, but and maybe some more. There's a bunch of great conferences down there, and like it's kind of annoying actually because I have to fly there. But
Yeah.
I guess if you're going to Sheridan, you might be getting used to that too.
Hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah. All right. So do you want to talk about action poses?
Action pose.
Do you have any by any chance?
No. But I'm
Okay.
just curious, are they just kind of like, oh, action poses, line of action, all that
Yeah.
shenanigans?
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna screen
That's
share.
easy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Um. Let's do this. Entire screen. All right. The vortex is about to happen. Yep. There we go. Okay. So you can see this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. This is going to be a little bit different because I'm using a Wacom tablet, just like the normal one, not my Cintiq, so it's going to be a little bit weird to get used to. But I'll be fine.
I believe in you.
Action poses. Yeah, there's so much to talk about here. This is where, see, it's amazing how much life drawing parallels character design, because you need to be able to imagine like what's happening in a variety of different directions. So even like when you're doing that rotation, for example, and you have that turntable, oh wow, this is weird. This is very different. Well, just trust me that that's an ellipse. That's the little turntable. Oh, that's the other problem I have transfer on. All right. A little bit better. So this is your turntable. It's still, oh boy. All right, rough landing. There we go. Okay. So you know how there's all those different angles that you need to cover? So there's like the front, back, 3/4. So what you want to do with the action poses is similar. You only have to do 3, but consider having them in different directions. You want to see different aspects of your model, of your character, whatever that is. So I'm just going to make a character. It's a little bit weird to draw on this, but I'll do my best. It kind of looks like he might be a druggie or something.
He's
Maybe
Spaghetti Man.
he's like, I feel like he's gonna have a metal T-shirt or something with some band logo or something on it,
Yeah, I can see that.
and then long hair.
It has to be frizzy though. It's like out and just like
Yeah.
unkept.
Yeah. Okay. So this guy, like, this is where that early character profile exercise that we did is extremely helpful, because knowing who this guy is incredibly useful. So if like we already know a little bit about him, like he's some kind of rocker guy, maybe he has like rocker boots on or something. And you know, his poses should be related to who he is and what he might be doing. Like there's only so much flexibility each character will have. If they're a main character, you're kind of set. You can do them, you can draw them doing pretty much anything, which can be more difficult actually. So the more defined that your character's personality is, the easier it'll be to think of poses, just because of how like of a niche type of character they are. Like this guy's like a rocker, so like he's like, well, that'd be easy. You have him at a rock show. But of course, like the traditional person would be like, okay, so what do people do at a rock show? He's like, he's just, you know, just playing guitar. I'm just gonna draw gestures. But see, even with this, like, then there's certain nice things about this. Like for example, the angle. You want to choose a nice angle, so a nice 3/4 view, especially of the head. 3/4 views are good. They're generally seen as like the beauty shots. So, and they're also quite difficult. So if you want to show off, 3D view is definitely a good idea. Unless the silhouette is not good. Like the silhouette is incredibly important. So that's just obviously the kind of negative shape that the character fills. So with the guitar, for example, this isn't very strong. Why do you not think that this pose is very strong? Like, what are some things that would make this stronger?
Probably, well, negative space for one. There's like not a lot of definition. The body seems to be straight rather than, curved or at an angle. It's not very interesting.
Yeah. He doesn't he doesn't seem super engaged in his music. He's just kind of playing passively. That you could deal with that a little bit in his facial expression, but like we want to make it seem like he's really into it. So like the first thing that you want to do is drop the trunk. So drop the legs. Maybe this one's coming out at us. This one's going to be foreshortened a lot. This one's going to be like out. So now he's kind of like getting a better feel for, he's like already, these legs feel like they're way more into what he's doing, or he's about to jump. One of those two. And this is where you have some flexibility. So with the torso, the line of action could be doing a nice C curve, or it could be doing sort of an S curve, depending on what you want to do. You'll hear a lot more about S and C curves, I'm sure. You probably already have. But yeah, like you could have him sort of arcing up and like push. Think about his shoulders. So his shoulder is going to be here. So I always start with like these axis points, because then you can always build the form on top of it. So now maybe to improve that silhouette, we might, well, actually, we could have him like at the end of a power stroke. So his arm could actually be up. And maybe he's holding the pick. So he's just like strummed his guitar really loudly. And he's, or actually better yet, instead of putting the guitar in the middle, you could try putting it like out here, even better negative space. Something like this. See, this is a little bit more action oriented for sure. And then of course his hair can be doing something crazy. So this negative space is obviously much better. And also, since this is a very action oriented pose, I would consider also mixing in, since you only have 3. Do they specify what those 3 action poses are by any chance, or is it just 3 action poses?
No, 3 action poses. I can double check it now though.
Yeah.
Check in.
Sure.
But please go on with your beautiful stick figures.
Yeah, beautiful, simple, and easy to change if I need to stick figures. So I would consider having some that are just resting, that are more emotive. So there's different categories. There's resting, maybe reacting to something in the distance. Jeez, it's really difficult to write with this. I'm just gonna type it, especially since I'll be sending this to you after. So it's resting. Could be reacting to something in the distance. I like that one, just because that means that could just be a single look. That could just be like the way that he's looking at something as it's happening, because you don't want to, no one is ever just resting. You know, there's rarely a time when you're just like sitting down looking at nothing. Like there should be something going on. Maybe he's like looking at his phone, maybe he's like relaxing on the bench and just like looking at people walking by. People are always looking at things, so make sure that even if he's just resting, he's still reacting to something in the distance. Some action-oriented poses. So that might be what the kind of things your character would do during the daytime. So characters, job, interest, like hobbies. It could be, what else?
Running away from something.
Yeah. So
Sports.
fear and fear of some kind.
Yeah.
Sports, if that's their personality, it has to, everything, you just have to make sure that it matches your personality. So which character are you doing again? It's the woman?
Yeah, it's a milkmaid.
Oh yeah, milkmaid. Well, that's so clear. So you know exactly what she'll be doing. So in that case, I would just try. There we go. So I don't have your files here, unfortunately, but I know that it's something like this. It's like circle in the middle. Is it like, and then she has poofy shoulders, of course.
Yeah.
Is it something like this? Oh, and she has a big hat or something, doesn't she? Her hair? I can't remember.
It's kind of more in a heart shape.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, her torso is more of a heart, and her head is more heart shaped.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm enjoying how you spelled milkmaid, by the way.
Oh, wow. That's hilarious. There we go. Yeah. So she could be, you know, obviously dealing with milk. Look up what milkmaids actually do in their day, other than, you know, interacting with milk and giving to customers or whatever else. Maybe she's milking the cow. And if you're doing something like that, then that'd be tough, because then she's sort of crouching down. So
Yeah.
that would be completely different than what your character's normally doing. So that'd be kind of a nice challenge for you to try that, to see if there was like a cow. First of all, the nice thing about that is you get another animal drawing in.
Whoop, whoop.
The more that you can add, the better.
Perfect.
So it'll be something like this. Okay, I'm not going to draw the whole cow, but yeah.
It's kind of like a horse.
Yeah, maybe with this.
Oh. Have you ever milked a cow?
Nope.
It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, some people squat or some people sit on stools, like when they're sit.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them milked, because every year to practice our animal drawings, we'd go to the Royal Winter Fair, which is like a local thing. If you're here, you'll do it. And there's like tons and there's like it's sort of a competition for local farmers to see with the best of each category. So instead of just having her milking the cow normally, maybe you could do something funny, like maybe she's a master at this or something, and she's like milking it, but in a way that where she doesn't even have to like stand or move in the proper way. She just like has this technique down. And then there could be another character that's like just catching at this giant like barrel or something, because it's coming out so fast.
Yeah, I can see that.
And how they maybe it's a weak character and they're kind of weighed down by it, but she's like just great at this. And she has this like maybe proud look on her face. I'm making sure to keep her silhouette kind of good, strong throughout. So you're always having a good variety of shapes. So maybe she's got like her hand on her hip. She's very proud. And there's a lot you can do with the expression.
Laissez-faire,
expression is huge. Yeah. She's just like, if you could pull off a yawn, that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, knowing her character, that's how she is. She's just, I'm the best milkmaid. Don't really have to milk it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Something like this would be kind of funny. This is also a nice tough shot, because see, we're getting the top 3/4 view of her head, so that can be quite difficult to work with. So if you can pull that off, that looks really good.
Sweet.
And consider whenever she's twisting, which is a good idea, because twist will always give you more variety in your posing. Should have done line of action first. Oops. There's always going to be those compression lines. So that means that this side might be a lot straighter, and this side obviously going to have all those like bunches of things bunched up. So there's going to be like tension lines. Maybe there'll even be some going across, just to make it convincing. There's a lot you can do to like add depth to this.
Yeah.
This is kind of funny. Or maybe she's like a dictator and she's like ordering people around. So that in that way, you want to set her up with another character, and you are allowed to use different characters, by the way. But you could also do it without, like if she was rhyming off orders, for example, she might just would be a nice way to do that. You could have her with it holding a clipboard. Very upright. She strikes me as like a very upright kind of woman. See, this one might be a nice profile. I sort of defaulted on the profile just because then you'd have a great shot of like her ordering all these people that are looking, you know, much more down around, and then she's just like just angry. And even when she's angry, her cheeks are going to push out so much. So yeah, it's a lot about the expression. So as much as you only have to do those 5 expressions and then action poses, the actions poses are also going to probably be expressions if they're good action poses.
Perfect.
Do you have any other pose ideas that you might give her? You know her best after all.
Like when people carry the I forgot, it's like almost like an ox cart for people, but they carry buckets from it. I forgot the name.
Oh, huh.
Yeah. Here, let me see if I can find a reference.
Sure.
All right. Oop, hold on. All right. Gonna send you a picture.
Awesome.
Don't know how to. What am I doing? I have no clue how to use the text box.
Do you know how to get to it, or you don't know how to?
Just kidding. I lied.
Got it?
Yep.
Awesome. They're working? Did you send?
I sent it. I don't know if you got it or not.
Okay, let's see.
Apparently not.
No, there's nothing in my text box.
Hold on.
You can always email it. I can always
Yeah.
my email here.
The lazy way.
Yeah. It's funny, like I feel like there's an easier way to do this, but there's still so many times that I use my email over everything else. Like when I need to send a photo to myself to use it on Instagram or Twitter or something, I still have to like send it to myself by email first and then open it on my phone. And I'm like, I just know that someone has already invented something better. than what I'm doing, but I just haven't like done the research to find out what it is.
Yeah, I can totally relate. Like, it's like, oh, I'm gonna put this on the internet. Wait, I need to go through my email. See,
Yeah, yeah,
what?
like there's your Google Drive, I guess, but like still haven't figured that out properly, and I don't know.
Google Drive has its moments.
Yeah.
Okay, I sent you the email. Hopefully it's there. If
Okay.
not, don't worry about it, and we'll just move on.
Yeah. Yep. Here it is. Ah, that's such a great one. Yeah, this is fantastic. I love this. And a great simple prop. So you can already tell that that prop's going to let you have such great negative space. Like, I'm going to take this actually. Uh, yeah. You know what I would do is I would make a whole, just find as many images of milkmaids as you can and build up a bit of a milkmaid reference library. Like, I'll just show you. Can you still see my screen by any chance?
Yes.
All right. I'll just go on Pinterest for a second. So I actually have a whole board. I have many boards, but it's specifically a board for, where is it? Shoot, where it is. Oh, here it is. It's at the bottom. Yeah. So when I was doing the artwork for the board game, and I still am actually, but we had a whole reference library just of peasant character art because we have a peasant in our board game. So I made this whole board of just different peasants from different games. Some of them weren't even peasants. They were just cool action figure type characters. And it's just a great, like, there's so many poses in this, like a peasant using a scythe, a futuristic peasant from Russia. It's a great idea to like, even these props that this guy has, like, I wouldn't even think of having a peasant look like that, but that's like really cool, and the whole tattered look is great too. So this gives you so much to work from for sure. To have like some reference like this, I would get as much as you can, just to see like what they do. Like for example, if she's like evil, maybe she's like poisoning the milk or something, or I don't know. Maybe it's like you could caricature this thing itself. So like instead of just drawing us just that same prop, I would make it a little bit customized for her specifically. So make it fit her design. So if she's very round, make it very round. Make the whole prop like have much more of a curve to it or something.
Exaggerate it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Because they rarely want to see it just as it is. The whole point of animation, after all, is to exaggerate from reality, not duplicate it. Because that's what film does. We don't want to do that.
There are
Sorry.
some good, like, animated, like, film type of movies out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Paprika?
Yeah. I think so. Wait, is that Studio Ghibli?
No, I think it's something else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a different
I thought we
anime.
watched that in school.
Hmm?
But yeah, I was a really big fan of that. That's
Oh, okay.
yeah,
It's a really good one.
yeah.
Messed up though.
Sorry?
It's like messed up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't seen it for a long time. I can't remember. And also consider like maybe instead of just walking along, if she's like a bit of a hardcore lady, maybe she's like running with it, and she's actually like holding these things. You know, she's like her sleeves,
Yeah,
almost as if she's like bench pressing it or something.
that'd be sick. Bench pressing milkmaids. Okay.
So yeah, maybe she's like actually in a bit of a bolt. I mean, you
Oh, right.
this would be hard to show with her dress, but you could experiment with how to do this. Might see a foot behind there. Okay, I definitely made her look like a guy, but let's see. You could just take her poofy dress.
It's all good.
Maybe something like that. And then she's just got like a look of grimace on her face, and she's like, "I'm coming to deliver you milk."
Yeah, 523, 523, something like that. I was close.
Yeah, just like really play with that. I would give her more of a silhouette, like make sure there's some good space here,
Yeah.
and just like you want to have nice negative space. Or even harder, if you really want to challenge yourself, try something like this, but then change it on an angle. So then suddenly you've got like this kind of thing. That's a great exercise, actually. If you do have a good pose, and if you have extra time, because obviously you're going to have tons of extra time, not. But if you do have some time, try it from a different angle, so that it's like you have lots to work with.
Yeah.
It could even be funny to just have this milk like spilling all over the place, just like sloshing away as she's running, as it's trying to like. But maybe she's like got multiple or something. She has multiple milk things on the same one. Just like fun ways to make it more interesting than just this, which is great. It's a good way to start, but also please make her have a single emotive expression where she's drinking milk out of a cup or something, and she has a milk mustache. I feel like that has to happen.
The ultimate joke.
And she's really like, you will not say anything mean about this milk mustache. She's like really proud of it or something.
This is some darn good milk we get here.
Yeah.
It's finally aged by our cow, Paprika. Holds on the farm.
This is great. I feel like your German family must have some, well, I don't know actually. Are they rural Germans or are they urban Germans?
They're actually kind of in between rural and in the city. They live like an hour outside of Frankfurt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're not farm folk.
Little city of Aschaffenburg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
But it's pretty cool out there. I have family in Kansas who have a farm.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, get them to. Well, then again, there isn't these milkmaids anymore. Really, this is an old timey thing. Yeah. On the note of expressions, shoot, I need more canvas space. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. There we go. See how with this expression, I put the head on an angle. Try to do that as much as you can, even if it's just subtle. Just never have it straight on, even if it's just like slightly angled like that. That's good. Even and try to do some difficult poses too. Maybe one where she's like looking up, but again, it's still gonna be slightly angled. So nothing's gonna be like that. Just that kind of thing. Because that stuff is difficult, and if you show that you can do like difficult poses as well as just nice easy ones, that's great. So yeah, lots of variety. Looking down, looking up. Yeah, just try everything. And that goes the same with the action poses. Just like make sure it's a strong dynamic line of action. Like this one is a bit static because she's running straight at us. So maybe it'd be a little bit better from the side. Maybe it'd be better if her chest is leaning forward, like she's just barreling through. You know, just try everything that you think is physically possible, and then I'll have a lot more to mark. So the more exploration you do this week, if this is what you want to have done for next week, it's up to you. Then I can look at a lot. I can get to a lot more specific stuff.
Sweet.
Yeah, but I'll send you this for now. And is there any more specific questions about action poses? I mean, it's all, they say it's action, but it doesn't have to be super, you know, she doesn't have to be saving babies or anything. It can just be like her just leaning on the counter or things like that. You want to have some that are more energetic, but I mean, if it's not an energetic character, don't make it be doing action poses just for the sake of what they're asking for.
Yeah.
Draw them doing whatever they'd be doing in their day.
Yeah, I totally understand, and I don't really have any questions because it's really straightforward. I mean, I know how to do like compressed lines and line of action and skeletons. So
Yeah.
it's
Cool.
all really easy.
Okay, fantastic. Right.
All right. See you Wednesday.
Sounds good.
All right.
What time is it again? We have this written down somewhere, but you know
I think
which.
it was 4. I don't know. I don't think we discussed a time.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember.
Let me double check my email. Perfectly. I have no clue. Yeah, it doesn't see.
That's okay. I'm
Anyway,
sure I'll find it somewhere. We did have an email thread going on somewhere, but I'll
yeah,
get to it soon.
it's somewhere.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Thank
right,
you, guys.
sounds good. I'll see you
Yeah.
Wednesday.
See you Wednesday.
Good luck this week.
Thanks.
Use it well.
Yes, power.
Yeah.